Do you have these top 7 most rare and valuable Washington quarters dollars worth a lot of big money that could make you rich? These quarters is both extremely rare and highly sought after. These 7 valuable coins that could be hiding in your change the next time you rummage through your spare change for laundry or your morning coffee. 1967 Washington quarter worth up to $100,000. Rare errors you must know. Attention coin lovers and treasure hunters. What if I told you that a simple Washington quarter from 1967, yes, the one you might have in your pocket or piggy bank right now, could be worth $1,000, $10,000, or even a jaw-dropping $100,000. Think again. Some of these coins have rare errors so valuable, collectors are battling to get their hands on them. Stay with me to the end of this video, because I'll reveal the most sought-after errors, the exact markers to look for, and real auction prices that prove these coins are not just change, they're hidden fortune. Rare 1967 quarter errors that are worth big money. Here's where it gets exciting. Among those billions of quarters, a few slipped through with mistakes, errors that today are worth thousands of dollars. Let's dive into the most valuable and rare 1967 Washington quarter errors that have shocked collectors. Double die obverse, DDO, one graded MS65 with a strong DDO can fetch over $5,000, and some rumors in collector circles talk about DDOs in pristine condition being valued over $10,000. Off-center strike, a 50% off-center 1967 quarter with full date visible in MS condition can sell for $1,500 or more. One extreme example sold for $2,350 at auction. Clipped planchet error, a well-defined clipped planchet 1967 quarter in mint state has reached $500 in auctions. Wrong planchet error, a 1967 quarter struck on a silver planchet was authenticated and sold for over $8,000. If a 1967 quarter is found on a 1964 silver planchet and weighs 6.25 grams, it could fetch $15,000 to $30,000, depending on grade. But here's the kicker. Rumors exist about 1,967 quarters struck on experimental planchets or foreign coins. If authenticated, these can be worth over $100,000. Broad strike error, a broad-struck 1967 quarter in MS65 condition can reach $1,000 at auction. Gemstone. High-grade coins in MS67 or better are extremely rare. PCGS has graded only a few hundred in MS67 and even fewer in MS68. Auction records. An MS67 1967 quarter sold for $456. An MS68 example could sell for $5,000 or more, depending on demand and I appeal. That 1971D Washington quarter sitting in your old coin jar might not be worth just 25 cents, it could be hiding a rare error worth $500, $1,000, $5,000, or even over $10,000. We're breaking down the rarest and most valuable 1971D Washington quarter errors that collectors are desperately hunting for. 1971D quarter history. The 1971D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, with a bold D mint mark located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. But as with many high mintage coins, minting errors slipped through, and those are where the real value lies. The U.S. Mint wasn't using the same high-quality die standards back then, especially for circulation coins, so various error types and die varieties emerged. Rare 1971D quarter errors worth big money. Double die obverse, DDO, value, $500 to $3,000 plus, low-grade examples, $300 to $500, MS63 to MS65, $1,200 to $3,000 plus, an extremely rare strong DDO in near-perfect condition could push $5,000 or more. Double die reverse, DDR, strong DDRs in MS condition can bring $1,500 to $2,000 at auction. Lesser examples are still worth $200 to $500. Struck on a wrong planchet, value, $3,000 to $10,000 plus, a 1971D quarter struck on a dime planchet sold for over $6,000. A quarter struck on a foreign aluminum planchet was valued at $10,000 plus. Off-center strike, value, $100 to $2,000 plus, 10% off-center, $100 to $300. 50% off-center with full date, $1,000 to $2,000. Off-centers on Denver Mint 1971 quarters are scarcer than Philadelphia ones. Broad strike error, value, $100 to $750. Clipped planchet error, value, $150 to $800. A clean, dramatic clipped planchet in mint state can bring $600 or more. Auction values, MS66, $50 to $100. MS67, $500 to $1,200. MS68, EST $5,000 to $10,000 plus if discovered and graded. Rare finds and auction highlights. Let's look at a few real auction records. Gemstone 1971D quarter struck on dime planchet, 4.3 grams, sold for $6,325. Gemstone 1971D double die reverse MS63, sold for $2,350. Gemstone off-center strike 70% with full date, valued at $1,900. Gemstone MS67 regular strike 1971D quarter, sold for $1,150. Some of these rare errors might still be sitting in coin jars or change drawers, undiscovered. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of the 1971 Washington $quarter error coins, coins that collectors are hunting, coins that slipped through the mint's cracks, and coins that could change your fortune. The 1971 Washington quarter was minted in both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D-mint mark. This year marked the continuation of the copper-nickel-clad composition, replacing silver quarters permanently after 1964. Package. Let's break down the most valuable 1971 error coins, from double dies to planchet errors to off-center strikes. Fire 1. Double die obverse, DDO, worth $500 to $5,000 plus. This is the most valuable and famous error on the 1971 quarter. It occurs when the design is impressed twice onto the die at slightly different angles. Magnifying glass tilted left. Strong DDO in XF Bayou, $500 to $1,000. MS63, MS65, $2,500 to $4,500. Rare examples in MS66 plus, $5,000 plus. Double die reverse, DDR, worth $300 to $2,000 plus. Struck on wrong planchet, worth $2,000 to $10,000 plus. 1971 quarter on a dime planchet, 4.3 G, sold for $6,325 on a foreign aluminum planchet, $10,000 plus. Off-center strike, worth $100 to $2,000, value based on strike, 10 to 20% off-center, $100 to $300. 50% off-center with full date, $1,500 to $2,000. Broad strike, worth $100 to $750. High-grade broad strikes can bring $500 to $750. Clipped planchet error, worth $150 to $800. Auction values, MS66, $50 to $100. MS67, $400 to $800. MS68, top pop EST $5,000 to $10,000 plus if one is found. Real auction records, 1971 quarter struck on dime planchet, $6,325. Small blue diamond 1971 double die reverse MS63, $2,350. Small blue diamond off-center 60% with full date, $1,875. Small blue diamond regular MS67 1971 quarter, $1,150. These aren't myths, these are real numbers paid by real collectors. There are 1973 era quarters out there worth hundreds, thousands, even over $15,000. Moneybag, that's right. One simple coin from the 70s could be a serious collector's treasure. We're breaking down the most valuable 1973 Washington $quarter errors, how to spot them, what they're worth, and how you might already have one hiding in your change jar. Backhand index pointing right. Most valuable 1973 $quarter errors, 2:30 to 11 o'clock. Let's dive into the top errors found in the 1973 and 1973 D quarters, from subtle doubling to jaw-dropping planchet mistakes. Repeat button 1. Double die obverse, DDO, worth $500 to $10,000 plus. If you spot clear doubling, especially visible without magnification, your coin could be worth $500 to $3,000 in circulated condition, and over $10,000 in mint state, MS65 plus. Double die reverse, DDR, worth $400 to $5,000 plus. A strong DDR in high condition can bring in $1,000 to $5,000 at auction. Off-center strikes, worth $100 to $4,000, wrong planchet / off-metal errors, worth $2,000 to $15,000 plus. A 1973 quarter struck on a cent planchet, copper, sells for $3,000 to $5,000. Struck on a dime planchet, silver-colored, smaller size, sells for $7,000 to $10,000. Broad strike error, worth $250 to $2,000. Clipped planchet, worth $100 to $1,500. Die breaks, cuts and cracks, worth $50 to $1,000. Auction sales, real value revealed. Here are a few real auction results for rare 1973 quarter errors. 1973 D quarter struck on cent planchet. Sold for $4,312. Heritage Auctions. 1973 quarter double die obverse, DDO, in MS64, sold for $3,150. Clipped planchet with full design, sold for $1,200. Broad strike error in MS65, sold for $1,550. These aren't rumors, these are real coins, authenticated and sold by PCGS, NGC, and Heritage Auctions. Today, we're diving deep into the 1973 D-era Washington quarter, revealing the most valuable and rarest errors, exactly what to look for, and how you could be holding a fortune without even knowing it. Most 1973 D quarters are worth only face value, even in circulated condition. However, some coins escape the mint with major striking mistakes or rare varieties, and these are worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Collision rare and valuable 1973 D quarter dollar errors. Double die obverse, DDO, moneybag $500 to $10,000 plus. Double die reverse, DDR, moneybag $400 to $5,000, off-center strike errors, $250 to $4,000 plus. Wrong planchet, off-metal, errors, moneybag $2,000 to $15,000 plus. These coins have sold for $5,000 to $15,000. And off-metal specimens in high grade could reach $25,000 plus depending on rarity. Broad strike errors, $300 to $1,500 plus. Clipped planchet error, $100 to $2,000. Die breaks, cuts, and die chips, moneybag $50 to $1,000 plus. Auction sales, real coins, real money. Here are real examples of 1973 D quarter errors sold at auction. 1973 D quarter on 1 cent planchet. $4,312, PCGS MS64. 1973 D quarter double die obverse, $3,000, raw coin. Broad strike error in MS65, $1,600. Major clipped planchet, $1,450. Collision. Some certified 1973 D-era coins have been valued over $10,000, and if an extremely rare variety emerges, like a newly discovered major double die, it could easily cross the $50,000 to $100,000 threshold. The 1976 bicentennial quarter, a coin millions of Americans saw and spent, hides rare errors and valuable varieties that could make you rich. From double dies to off-metal errors, and even rare silver planchet strikes, today we're diving deep into the most expensive 1976 bicentennial quarters ever found. The 1976 bicentennial quarter is not just any quarter, it was struck to celebrate America's 200th birthday. Small blue diamond. Most valuable 1976 bicentennial quarter errors, double die obverse, DDO, $500 to $3,000 plus. Double die reverse, DDR, $500 to $5,000 plus. Off-center strike, $250 to $4,000 plus. Wrong planchet / off-metal error, $10,000 to $100,000 plus. Money with wings. These rare errors have sold for $10,000 to $35,000, and a well-documented off-metal silver bicentennial quarter could exceed $100,000 at auction. Clipped planchet, $100 to $2,000, die breaks, cuts, and die chips, moneybag $50 to $1,500, silver planchet errors, wrong planchet or transitional, $5,000 to $30,000 plus. Such a discovery could reach $10,000 to $30,000, possibly more if it's a high-grade error. Real auction prices, proof that these errors are valuable. 1976 D bicentennial quarter, off-center error, MS64, $1,920. 1976 bicentennial quarter, DDO in MS65, $3,000. 1976 no mint mark on silver planchet, error, $8,400. 1976 quarter struck on 1C, copper penny, planchet, $7,200. PCGSMS 67 plus silver bicentennial quarter, $19,200. Collision. If you discover a unique or undocumented error, its value could skyrocket at auction, even into the $50,000 to $100,000 range. The 1979 D error Washington quarter is one of those rare, once-in-a-lifetime discoveries that could turn your entire collection upside down. Whether you've got one of these elusive quarters hidden in your stash, or you're just starting to explore the world of error coins, stick with me all the way to the end of this video. The 1979 D Washington quarter. A brief history. The 1979 D Washington quarter is a coin that's part of the Washington quarter series, which began in 1932. The series features George Washington's portrait, and the reverse shows an eagle. The 1979 D version, which is minted at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark, follows a long tradition, but what makes this particular coin so special is not just its regular design, it's the era that sets it apart. What makes the 1979 D era Washington quarter so special? If you're lucky enough to have one of these error coins, you might have something worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Let's break down the types of errors that could make your 1979 D quarter extraordinarily valuable. Double die errors. Value. A 1979 D double die error Washington quarter can fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 depending on the clarity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. Some collectors have even paid over $50,000 for specimens that are in pristine condition and show significant doubling. Clashed die errors. Value. Depending on the severity and uniqueness of the clash, these quarters can be worth anywhere from $500 to $15,000. Some rare clash die coins have sold for upwards of $20,000, especially when the clash is prominent and easy to see. Off-center strikes. Value. A 1979 D off-center strike Washington quarter can be valued anywhere from $2,000 to $25,000, with more extreme examples pushing the value closer to $50,000. Laminated errors. Value. Laminated errors typically command a value of $500 to $5,000. Die cracks and cuds. Value. These types of errors can increase the value of the coin, especially when they are large and visible. Depending on the severity, 1979 D die cracks or cut errors can add a few $100s to the value, but they typically fall in the $500 to $3,000 range.